found that these children were going through things. Actually, at some point, the teachers were in tears. They were literally in tears. They couldn't believe that children of this age were going through whatever they had written. At some point, once again, welcome to our Evolve You for You channel. If you're new to this channel, karibu sana. In this channel, we believe that we are the ones who control our destiny. Of course, we believe in God, we believe in His power, but we also believe that He has already blessed us. And whatever is ahead of us, whether we'll conquer it or it will conquer us, it is all about how we play. In this channel, we look at every aspect of our lives. We don't forget about our families. We don't forget about our waking up, working hard, working out, praying, going back to school if necessary, reading tons of books where necessary. We turn every stone to ensure that we evolve, all for the glory and honor of God. So once again, if you are new in this channel, karibu sana. And all in all, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing. Just to hit it and to encourage the team just to continue producing such lovely videos. So there was a particular time when we were taking children for camps as a Sunday school team, yeah. So we were geared up and we went to this camp and everything looked nice. So like after day 2, we thought of, okay, it was in the program, we thought of, what if we give these children notes? We wanted to get into them, to know what is happening in their world, and just to get to know them better. So we said, okay, we'll give them papers and pens and tell them to write for us anything they are willing to share, anything they are willing to share. At first, they were a bit hesitant. They were like, what do I tell teacher? What do I raise up? And most of them were like, no, I don't have anything to say. But to tell them, no problem. There's no hurry. You can just think about it, gather some courage, write it. And we even gave them a designated point where they would just drop the note and they wouldn't know who wrote what. Yeah. So it is an activity that took the afternoon. We went for other activities like swimming, came back and told them, no problem. You can even write them during the night, evening, and drop them here. So the next day, the children were out again, filled for an activity. And as teachers, we said, okay, fine. Let's just go through the notes. We see what they have, what they have written, so that even by the time we are teaching them, we are training them, we are talking with them, we know the things they are struggling with. Now, my dear friends, the moment we started looking at these letters, all these notes that these children had, and mark you, these children were the children between around 8 to 10. Those were the ages that we had at the camp during that time. It was a junior camp, yeah, for children, literally children, yeah. So when we started going through these notes, we found that these children were going through things. Actually, at some point, the teachers were in tears. They were literally in tears. They couldn't believe that children of this age were going through whatever they had written. At some point, we will even pause and we'll just see a teacher shocked and we'll be like, what is it? What have you read? On these letters, we found some of the children were being taken advantage of under the same roof, not even by strangers, by some houseboy cousin who was living in the same house. And these children were being taken advantage of almost on a daily basis. But somehow, for some reason, they couldn't air it out. They couldn't find the courage just to tell their mom, their dad, that this is what is happening. some of the children were getting very, very bad information from the housemaids who were brought in to help them. And they were even teaching them some things that the children should totally not know at any point of their life. But because their parents were never there to see them, to hear them, to understand them, to even note like there's a change in character, the children were just absorbing whatever the nonsense the house girls were giving them. Some of the children that raised the issue, they raised the issue about the conflict they were having with the parents were having in the house, and the way they will narrate everything and narrate the ordeals in such a traumatizing way, and you will be like, if these parents really knew that their children had these thoughts about them because of the daily wrangles they have in the family, or maybe the daily disagreements they have in the family, will they still continue with whatever they are doing? Or will it be a wake-up call to them whereby they'll be like, okay, for the sake of these children, let us just try and sort our problems in a better way, yeah? Some of the children we had, their parents were separated, and it was eating them up to the core. But simply because one parent didn't want to hear the child mentioning the name of the other parent, they were suffering in silence, because even some of them were even ashamed to let the world know, or even the relatives know, that no, mom and dad don't live together, or this is what is happening in their families. We had some children who their parents had even divorced, and they were just too much traumatized, and everything was eating their head up. We had a particular child who was literally flown from Mombasa to Nairobi to come and attend this camp. And this child was like, actually, she even offered to say, like, teacher, I'll not even hide who I am. It's me who have written this one, yeah? And the way you are seeing me here, I'm in this camp for 4 days. After that, I'm flying to another country for another function, yeah? Meanwhile, what this child was longing for deeply, deeply, and she could have paid anything if money could have had bought for her. She was just longing for a time whereby she would just sit and have a quiet time with their parents without necessarily being sent to any activity that was around, so that she will be busy somewhere doing something. Yeah. Friends, by the time we finished this camp, not necessarily even before we finished this camp, by the time we finished doing this letter, the happy mood that we as teachers had in this camp, it changed to more of a mourning mood. We felt so bad, and the reason why we felt this was a church setup, and these children were going through all this that they were going through. At our mind, we were like, what if this was not a church setup? Will things be worse? And even as the camp came to an end, the parents drove in to pick their children, the hugs, the high five, and they looked like everything was perfect and was going on well. But as teachers, we were like, oh, we wish these parents knew exactly what is going on. So, my dear parents, in all this, what did we learn as teachers that we would like to share with you? Because remember, these children are your dear children that are hanging in your house, living with you under the same roof. According to you, they are okay. You catered for their everything. The fridge is full, their room is well decorated, the rent is paid, the Wi-Fi is there, electricity is there, everything is good according to your standard. But these very same children are screaming without opening their mouths, and they are like, please help me, I'm drowning. Yeah. So what we picked from all these is that parents should strive to have an open communication with their children. I'm also among those parents that are still learning how to do it. But one of the ways that we can get to know what is happening in their life is if we can learn any skill can be learned if we can learn to have that open communication with our children, because that is the only way they will open to us and share with us whatever is eating their head up. Yeah. Something else that I learned is that children have hidden struggles. Whatever I struggled with when I was their age is totally different from what they are struggling now. And even that takes us back even to the first point. The open communication will help us walk in their shoes and just learn to know them. And once we know them, we'll know how to sort out their issues. Because unless we do that, it might never happen. And that is where I think even, God forbid, the drug dealers and the other people who we wouldn't like our children to imitate from, they have learned to strike that conversation with them. And unfortunately, we get like the children are free to open up to them than to open up to us. So, parents, this is a skill we must learn if we want to win them and influence them in the right direction. Yeah. Another thing we got is that parents must create a safe space whereby the child knows that they can come as they are and share their issue. And as parents, we will hold back our intellect and everything that we think we have and just listen to them and let them feel like this is an open space. Because just the same way I told you, it took us some time before these children could open up to us. At first, they were like, no, we have no issues, we are okay. But by the time they opened up this space and started pouring out their hearts on those papers, we learned like they just didn't feel safe enough to open up and to talk to us. Yeah. And what stood up among all these are the effects of the conflict that the impact it was having on the children, especially the children who their parents were having disagreements, quarrels, fight. Some were even separated, some were even divorced. The children were suffering in silence because while they would like to have both the parents, they really know that maybe one parent is really, really hurting the other one. And in the name of just being somewhere in the middle and maybe winning the love of both, because what normally happens actually, these children normally like need the attention, the love from both parents. So they wouldn't like to like be an enemy of dad or enemy of mom. So in the process, they find themselves in between trying to please both parties, yet in real sense, they are the ones that fight. Okay, they are the ones that suffer. Yeah, there's a saying that normally says like when two bulls are fighting, it is the grass that suffers. Yeah, so when these two parents are in disagreements, in fight, in quarrels, in back and forth of words, the people who suffer at the ground are the children. And if only maybe the parents can have a chance to hear the children out, you might be shocked at how you can really try and make different decisions. Yeah. So, even just to follow up on what the Bible says about all this, yeah, especially when it comes to raising our children. Number one, we must take note that we are just stewards of these children. We don't own them. We are stewards to them, and we will give an account of everything that our children are going through. It doesn't matter whether it is the spouse who was unfaithful, whatever happened, at the end of the day, we'll give an account as far as the children are concerned. So when things get south, sometimes the way they will, just remember that at the end of the day, the children are there. And just as we had said in our other videos, we are not only raising children, we are raising people's mothers, people's fathers, people's husband, people's wife. We are raising future leaders and people that we will expect to carry our names and the mantles when we are gone. So for that particular reason, we should strive and give it our very best. Yeah. So one of the maybe encouragement or something to keep us going is from the book of Psalms chapter 127 verse 3. It says, children are a heritage from the Lord. They are a heritage from the Lord. Offspring, a reward from him. This verse tells us the significance of God's plan in our children. They are gifts we've been given. They are a heritage we've been given. At the end of the day, we will be judged according to how we treated them. Having that in mind can make us spare some time for them. Create that safe space for communication. Learn how to talk and influence to them. It's not an easy thing. I'm not also an expert as far as this is concerned. I'm making my baby steps as well. But I'm sure if we make an effort towards it, we will be able to achieve more. Yeah. Also in the book of Matthew 16:6, this is a bit scary. It says, if anyone causes one of these little ones, those who believe in me, to stumble, it will be better for them to have a large millstone hung around their neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. This one is a warning to the parents. Yes, they are your children. Yes, you gave birth to them. Yes, you are taking them to school. Yes, they live under your roof. According to you, you have rights over them. But the Bible says that if you cause any of them to stumble, a punishment will be given to you. Yeah. So this one is just a wake up call, like, no, you can't just do things the way you want. You can't just send them to any camp that is there, any meeting that is there, even send them, buy for them airplane tickets to go to outside country for activities so that you can have some free time with them. And even in case the other, your spouse annoys you or anything comes out, at the end of the day, remember that if your action causes your children to stumble, you will be held accountable for it. So it's not like, yes, we have our rights. Yes, sometimes as parents, when things get worse, we also come to something that looks like a dead end. But even when you come to this dead end, remember, the children are a heritage from God. And one day you will stand and answer questions as far as that child is concerned. And also know that your action will determine where your child will stand tomorrow. Yes, you are one of the main ingredients of whether they make it in life or not, or what they turn out to be. So, dear parents, I hope today we have just got that thought of we have to do something towards our children when we are there with them, when they are in our presence, to spare some time for them intentionally. Have some time for them so that we live for them, we train them, and we make them better. Because or not, you cannot evolve when your child has failed. Yes, you cannot evolve. It will forever linger in your head. When like that child has turned into something else that I don't want to mention in this channel, it will bother you. It will brand a name on you. You will feel like a failure even if you have trillions everywhere. Yeah. So let us evolve together with our children. Let us evolve together with our families. Let us work together as a team and know that we are responsible for their success. That was our thought for today, parents. Till next time, I'm so glad you joined us. Thank you.